You know, I don't want to sound egotistical and I don't want to sound overconfident, but I just want to take a minute for all of us, every single person in this building tonight, to just take it all in. Alright? This has been a very, very, very tough journey for myself, for Evan, for Jeff, and we've all had our ups and our downs, right? And at the forefront of it, especially within Europe Pro, it has been Empire. But for me, that battle has been going on for way, way longer. You see, I wish I could come out here and I could say that you guys all witnessed at Defy the Odds me winning my first World Championship, but for those of you that don't know, and understandably so, I was a former REW World Heavyweight Champion. And I walked into a matchup where the dirt sheets, the fans, the critics, everyone was saying that there was no way I was going to win that. And you even had guys like the world champion at the time, Blake Payne, going in there and saying that I would never hold that championship. And lo and behold, I walked out as champion. And I think that was the day. I really do think that that was the moment where Blake decided that he was going to try and ruin my career for as long as I still wrestled. And he tried, he succeeded in some elements. He might not have been the guy to take the REW World Championship away from me, but he took my CEW career. And then when I found my feet in MUW at the time, well, guess what happened then? They tried taking that away from me too. And then for a while I was left with nothing. For a while, I thought about hanging up the boots. I thought about giving it all up. And, you know, Blake would have won at that point. Empire would have won. They would have succeeded. But I'm still here. And I am your Europe Pro World Heavyweight Champion. Now, I know this is a highlight show and I need to get things going, but I needed to say all of that before I gave my big announcement, because I didn't want to come out and say something like this, especially after arguably the biggest night of my career. But during that match with Bullet Holland, I hit my head a little bit too hard. And the medics think I have a mild to moderate concussion. And we are unsure as to whether or not I'm going to be able to compete at No Sleep Till Brooklyn. Which I know doesn't sound like a big deal, but unfortunately, due to Europe Pro contractual obligations as a champion, if I can't defend my belt at No Sleep Till Brooklyn, or at least by then I have to give up the championship. Now, I'm not going to let this thing go until then, because I know that I will be cleared and I know I'll be ready to go come No Sleep Till Brooklyn. But just in case I'm not, just in case there is a chance that the medics tell me that I'm not cleared and I have to go out in front of an American audience for the first time in Europe Pro history and I have to lay that championship down, I just want to let you know that even if I hold this thing and I never defend it, I will never regret what I did at Defy the Odds. I did what I had to do to win that championship and to take Empire down a peg or two. And if that is it for me as Europe Pro World Champion, then so be it. But I know I'll be back. I know I will. Don't worry about it. Because I've got two great friends behind me that will make sure that I get through this. And I will be there at Brooklyn. I will be there to defend that championship. But thank you all. And hopefully this isn't the last time you see me with this championship over my shoulder. Well. Look what we have here, ladies and gentlemen. You've got the Europe Pro World Tag Team Champions and the Europe Pro World Heavyweight Champion having a little circle jerk. Ah, how cute, how sweet. Oh, does the World Champion have a little concussion? Get over it, man. Let's be real. You're just faking it because you don't want to defend the championship. Before going to Brooklyn, even though you're Canadian, all right? Let's be real. But what you should be worried about is the fact that I'm here. That's right, the brand ambassador, the best wrestler in the CEW network, double A, double D, double A, double M, 1S. The Mitsuharu Masawa of his day. You get the rest. Because, well, Gabe, buddy, I just want you to realize something. I have already beaten 2/3 of the Dead End Society that are currently in that ring right now, which I think makes me the ipso facto #1 contender for your Europe Pro World Heavyweight Championship. And I wanted that match right here, right now, so I could make you the shortest reigning world champion in network history. But if you're going to play this little game, then I'll go ahead and I'll play some of my own. I will start racking up wins between now and No Sleep Till Brooklyn. And I will see you at No Sleep Till Brooklyn. And you can do one or two things, man. You can continue this little ruse and you can say that you're injured and you can hand me the world championship. In fact, I will force you to put it around my waist and call me the new Europe Pro World Heavyweight Champion. Or you can grow a pair and you can fight me. Because here's the thing, I don't care what Europe Pro management wants me to do to get that shot. I will do whatever it takes to fight you or to walk out of No Sleep Till Brooklyn as Europe Pro World Champion and a double champion across 2 promotions. And I can at least say that with those championships, yeah, I beat every single member of the Dead End Society to hold my gold. But, seeing as we're out here tonight, I might as well start it right now. So if you lot could, get your injured asses out of my ring, so I can stand here and I can say that if anybody wants a piece of good old double A, well then feel free. Step on down and we'll have a little match right now, shall we? Sky. Look, massive main event tonight. Sadie Austin, Harley Possible. Look, I know that you might be a little bit upset about what happened at Defy the Odds, but we kind of need you out there, right? Like, the Gambit are growing by the day, and the numbers are starting to slip, and we need to cut the head off the snake now before it gets too bad. And me and Harley, we could really use your help here tonight. What would you say about being in Harley's corner later on? No, you two aren't worth my time. You're not the ones to beat the Gambit, so I'm not going to help you. Simple as. You say that Amara's not your friend, right, Eileen? So, you'll have no issues witnessing us take her out of the equation now, will you? I'm hearing a lot of idiots talking about how Empire International is finished now that Bullet Holland's been suspended indefinitely, but two things about that. Let's be clear. One, yeah, no, we're not finished, not by a long shot. And two, well, let's be real here. I will find a way to get Bullet back as soon as humanly possible, and when I do, need I remind the world that he has a rematch clause. You know, Derek Alpha used his at We Are EPW, so it's only fair that Bullet Holland gets his own rematch. So, you know, EPW, you know, Europe Pro Management, you are just stalling for time right now. You are just making Bullet the most dangerous man in your company, even more so than he already makes himself. But I think it's time that, for the time being, that we engage in our constituency plan, right? Our backup plan. I hate to call him a backup because he's very, very good. But Marshall, my guy, could you go ahead and give him a little call? Absolutely, man. You know, I've been waiting a very, very long time to bring this guy into Europe Pro, and I think with Bullet gone, I really do think that he could change the tides of things for us. But I'll deal with that. Don't you worry, Alex. You calm down. You focus on rebuilding us from the top. I'll deal with it. Don't worry. Oh, of course you're here, Mr. Big Shot, Mr. Luigiano. You know, I've actually got a bone to pick with you, okay? You know, you ruin my big moment. You know, my first massive singles pay-per-view win, right? I might have won the Triple Threat at Chaos Reigns, but this is my first one-on-one victory on pay-per-view, and of course you have to make it about yourself, Luigiano, but I see that you're more than happy to powerbomb Alex Blade out of the ring, but you're not happy enough to get in that ring and wrestle tonight, are you? No. But how about this? I'll find you an opponent for next episode, yeah? How about that? Got nothing to say now, have you? Congratulations, Gambit. You did what everyone probably thought was going to happen. You beat Harley Possible. I mean, I thought it was going to happen. I almost knew it was going to happen. That's why I said to her and Jessica Smith, I'm not going to help them. Because here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. You're probably expecting me to be very, very annoyed. And whilst deep down I am, I just know that you guys are doing what you have to do and what you had to do to take the championship away from me. None of you in the Gambit can beat me one-on-one, so you have to resort to numbers to get it done. You have to play the mind games. And now, no matter what I do, if I try and go for that belt, I have at least 3 other people at ringside to fight me, but that's fine. That's fine, because whilst I didn't accept their offer to help them because I knew they couldn't get it done, I didn't accept their offer because I don't need their help to beat each and every one of you in that ring right now. And you know what? I'm going to start with the woman who threw the steel chair at my head at Defy the Odds, the one that wants to try and pipe up the most, Sadie Austin. A lot of people seem to be saying a lot of good things about you, but until you step in the ring with me, you might as well be a nobody. So here's what we're going to do. Next Wednesday night Warzone, I'm going to take you out, then I'm going to take Brooke Newman out, I'm going to take Steph Cleve out, and then I'm going to take Trish Renee out, and I will get back my Women's World Championship.